Welcome to Tech Brothers with Amir. In this video, we are going to learn how to send custom email notification from Azure Data Factory for a pipeline. So let's go ahead and take a look. Here, what I have a blob storage, and in the blob storage, I have a container, and that container is called the input. In this input container, I have a file called customers Asia region. And what I want to do, I'm going to create another container, and we are going to call that container output. And then we will move this file or you can copy this file from one container to another container. So in other ways, we are reading file from input container and writing to the output container. There could be a lot more scenarios where you would be reading the files and loading to the table or doing different activities. But at the end of the day, you would like to send an email with information like, hey, this pipeline has been completed successfully, if there are these many records been read, and all those kind of things. So you can do all those different things in Azure Data Factory. So we are going to perform that. Now let's go to the Azure Data Factory here, and in the Azure Data Factory, we are going to create a new pipeline. So let's go ahead, and this is our pipeline, and I'm going to call this pipeline PL load customer file. And what we need a copy activity. So I'm going to bring a copy data activity here, go to source, I'm going to go to new and create a new linked service. Select Azure Blob Storage, hit continue. Yes, I would like to read the comma delimited file. So hit next, and I can call this one ds source underscore customer and create a new linked service. Yes, okay. So what is the name of that? I'm gonna just leave this as it is. Select the subscription, select the storage account, and we create this linked service. Now in the linked service, it's asking me which is what is the container name. In my case, it's input, and I can click to browse or select the input as well, and I can select the file as well. Okay, so yes, the first row is the header row. Do we need to read the schema and all that? I am fine with that, just leave as it is. And now what we are gonna do, we are gonna go to the sink. In the sink, we are gonna go to the new Azure blob storage is fine, CSV file, yes, and we are gonna go select the same linked service. But in this case, we will be selecting different or container is gonna be output container. Now it first row has header, yes, and hit OK. Now what you're gonna do here, you're gonna go right there, open, and let's provide the name. I can provide my output file.txt or whatever CSV. So you can give the name whatever you want. So this process is going to read the file and write to the output folder, right? So we are all good here, but what I want to do once this process complete, I would like to send an email. So how I can do that? I can need to use logic apps because there is no built-in functionality here that I can use it and send an email from here. So I have to create a logic app workflow. So and then we will be using a web activity here to send an email. So let's go back to our portal, and in the portal we are going to go to the logic apps and create a logic app. Hit add, select subscription, and then we are selecting our resource group, consumption, and provide the name. In my case, I'm going to do TBIT, and East US is just fine. Hit create. Our logic app is created. We are going to go to the resource now and take a look here. Here we can create the workflow. So I'm going to click on the blank logic apps. So now once you have right there, what we are going to do, we are going to create the request. So I'm going to type the request in recently used. I have the request, so it is showing you. If you don't have it, just type request and it's going to bring different type of items available. In my case, I'm going to use the request when an HTTP request is received. and this HTTP request is going to be received from the Azure Data Factory. Okay, so now we can build the payload. The payload means a JSON that will pass from the Azure Data Factory. So click right there, and then you can type whatever you want to provide. In my case, let's say if I would like to say pipeline name, that's one of the thing. And then I can do, okay, what else I would like to pass, maybe data factory name, and then I'm gonna go ahead, that's it, then put a comma here. Then the third part, I would like to say pipeline run ID that we can provide, and what else you would like to, rows red, so rows red, that's, or rows written, so you can provide all that information. There's tons of things that you can provide, so just whatever you want to provide, just write it here, all of the items. And I'm going to copy this for myself for now. Let me say Control A, Control C, okay, and hit done. Once you do that, it automatically formats it very well. So you see that pipeline name, it brought it as string type, data factory string, and then a rows red string and all that. Okay, so this is a very nice payload it created. Now you're gonna go to the add new parameter, go to method, and just click on the side. It's gonna get you, hey, you're gonna use this one. Will you post or put or whatever? So we are gonna post. It is already. Now we are going to go to next level, and then we are going to use an email. So let me do one thing. I'm going to just paste this JSON here, because this is the same JSON type we are going to use in our expression when we pass from the Azure Data Factory to the our web activity. Now we are going to click on new step, and here we are going to select how we are going to send this email. In my case, I'm going to use the Gmail. So you can do Outlook or whatever, you have tons of options. In my case, I'm going to use the Gmail, and that's going to work just fine for me. So Gmail, click right there, and in the Gmail, what you would like to do, reply to an email, send an email. I'm going to send an email. It's going to ask me, hey, what is the name of connection? I'm going to call it TBIT Gmail, and now I have to sign in. Here I will select my account, and once I select my account, what's going to happen is going to ask me to allow. Okay, that's all set is creating. Now what we are going to do here is asking, hey, to which email address you would like to send. I'm going to put my email, and that's where I would like to send an email. And then you can go to the add parameters, and here, okay, subject, body, attachments, and all that you can choose. In the subject, I can I could have bring the value from that JSON payload, but I didn't bring it. So anyways, I can go ahead and say pipeline, or say ADF email notification, and inside the body I can write all that. Hi, pipeline. So it's your choice how you want to format this whole thing. You can do that. In my case, I can simply say, here is details for pipeline execution. Okay, so that's what I wrote. Now I have all those different information. I can simply say pipeline name, and then I can put colon, and we can click right here, see more, and these are all the different properties that we use in the payload. So I can bring the pipeline name right here. I can provide some space and pipeline name, and then I can go to the next one and say data factory name colon, and bring the data factory name. Then I can go and if I would like to have another one such as run ID, and I can call it pipeline run ID if I want. Here select the pipeline run ID, and then if you want to put another information such as rows red or rows written. In my case, I only took the rows red. Select the rows red, and that's it. You can put that then thank you and contact us in case have any questions, and say ADF support team, whatever you want to put. Okay, so we are all set here. This is ready to go, and we are gonna hit save. We are gonna go back to this. See, our save logic apps completed. We are gonna go back to our Azure Data Factory, and here we are gonna bring the web activity. In the web activity, we are gonna connect to the copy activity. And now actually I had to go back to the logic apps and copy the URL. So this URL I'm going to use in the web activity. Go to web activity settings, paste the URL and select the method in case it's going to be post. And now the body part has to be built. Now if you remember that these are the 4 different items we selected in the body and payload, right? So we are going to go right there and build that. I'm going to click on add dynamic contents and here paste the same thing. Now what you are able to do right here, we don't have anything value here, so what we can do at the rate and then parentheses, and inside that you will be putting the different information. So we have this system variable such as pipeline name, pipeline ID, and run IDs and all those kind of things. See pipeline name, so I can just click right in the middle and put the pipeline name. Now I can do the same thing for the factory name, so I'm going to go ahead and put at the rate sign, curly parentheses, and bring the cursor in the middle, and then I'm going to choose a factory name, data factory name. Then I'm going to go for a run ID, so at the rate parentheses here, and then I'm going to go for a pipeline run ID right there. So Rowread, this is what is going to happen. This is coming from our copy activity, and I'm going to go all the way at the end, see copy activity right there. So I'm going to put at the rate first and the curly parentheses, click on middle, and then select copy activity. See, so it has a copy activity dot output, and then in the output we have Rowread. Okay, so that's how you are gonna keep adding them. So if you want to do rows return and all those, so that should do it. See right there. So everywhere I have put this, so it become the string type. Okay, so hit OK now, and we are gonna make it small. We are gonna hit debug, and what it should do, copy activity should read the data from our input folder, that file, and write to the output folder or container, and then the web activity should run and send an email. Let's wait. So copy activity got completed successfully. Right there we can see that, and web activity failed. So we are going to take a look. In the copy activity we see that input, we are going to see output, and data read. So rows file reads. So if you data written, so in this case looks like we don't have the rows read, so that's why I believe it failed. But anyways, we are going to take a look. So let's say we will put the data read. So whatever the output is returning, that we can use from the copy activity. And let's go to the web activity and see right there. So let's see this see Rowread, that's are not available in the output of a copy activity. That could be the case, and we can go right there and see right there expression output.rows cannot be evaluated. It is saying it's not available. So see right, it's saying you have data read, you have data written, files read, and all those properties there, but you don't have the rows read. So that's a problem. So let's go back to our web activity. So in these cases, what you are going to do, whatever is coming from different activities, that's what you can put, so right there. So I'm going to just type instead of output.rowsread, I'm going to put the data read. Hit OK. So we are going to hit debug. So it's going to overwrite the file. It's going to read from input of container, write to the output container, and then it's going to run the web activity. So notice here the copy activity completed, and now our web activity also completed successfully. Now let's go back here and take a look. First of all, let me show you the output container, so we would know that our file has been copied. So let's go to storage, go to the containers, go to the output, and here is our file, my output file. So if we go here, we can see the file has been copied. Fine. Now what we are going to do, we are going to go to email and here refresh, and then we should say email. So see ADF email notification. So the subject is ADF email notification, and this is the hard code values. We have said that, hey, here is a detail for pipeline execution, our pipeline name. That name came from the that variable, or the way we have written in the web activity. This came from the data factory variable that we use, and then we have pipeline run ID, and then at the end we have a rows red. So that's not the data like a number of rows. This is more like in the bytes and all that. So uh, there are not 105 rows just for sure. So the copy activity, whatever the output copy activity is returning. So in this case, if I go right here in the output, you can see right there data red. So that's 105, not the rows red. So I have I could have make changes here if I want. Instead of saying rows red, I can say data red. Okay, so then next time data red. Okay, so that should just do fine. If I will save now changes, the next time when the email will come, it will say data red. Okay, save it in the logic apps. You can go back and run your pipeline, and this time it will get you the right notification. Let's go to the email, refresh, and now we have a new email, and now it's pretty good. So we have a rose red. Still we are seeing a rose red right here. Oh, okay, because in the email I have rose red here. Okay, so it should be data red. That's it. So you can save it, save the changes, and then you should be all good. All right, so this is how you will be sending a custom notification from the Azure Data Factory to your email. And I have already done a video where I have written the data to the flat file or CSV file and all that, and use the same kind of technique. Instead of sending the in the email, I have written to the using the copy activity and just wrote it there. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.